Welcome back to Community Difference Makers, a podcast where we explore the people, partnerships, and ideas helping our community thrive. Our podcast is brought to you by Bankers Trust and United Way of Central Iowa, and I am fortunate to be your host. My name is Emily Abbas. In our last episode, we talked about youth violence and the deeper systems that shape safety and stability for young people in Central Iowa. Today, we're continuing that conversation with a focus on solutions, because if prevention is the goal, connection is the strategy. Today, we're talking about youth engagement, youth employment, mentorship, and what happens when young people are given a real opportunity, not just a summer job, but experiences that build skills, experiences that build confidence, a sense of belonging. I'm so excited today about our three guests. I've been getting to know them as we've been prepping here. We've got Cheryl Werner from United Way of Central Iowa. Welcome. Jordan Colbert of Oak Ridge Neighborhood and Oak Futures. And Zamiratu Dainkeh, a student who has participated in the Youth Summer Employment Program at Oak Ridge. Zami started as a camp counselor and is currently working in the accounting department at Oak Ridge.
Yes.
And assistant to the CFO. And enrolled in the Drake Bright College, graduating very soon. Congratulations. And enrolling in the fall in Drake as a journalism major. We have that in common. I was a journalism major at Drake, too. Go Bulldogs.
Oh, wow.
So let's start this conversation. Cheryl, we'll start with you. From United Way's perspective, why is summer youth employment such an important part of the Safe and Thriving Youth Initiative?
Summer youth employment supports our United to Thrive framework by advancing education success, economic opportunity, and long-term stability. It provides opportunities for young people to explore interests, gain experience, and build skills through roles in nonprofits, businesses, and government, preparing them for future career pathways and strengthening our workforce. Youth employment is a key to violence prevention. It keeps youth engaged, it builds skills early, and creates pathways for youth for a successful career.
So how does a program like this reduce those risk factors? So things such as disengagement or maybe not having a plan after graduating high school.
Research shows that youth not engaged in school or work are at a higher risk of violence. Our goal is to create safe, supportive spaces through all levels of school, elementary through post-secondary, where young people feel secure, safe, and able to build pathways to their future. We want to make sure also is that youth have mentors and models who are positive during all points in their life. There's a powerful statistic that leads our work that tells us the why. One caring adult can change the life trajectory of a child.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot. Jordan, you're working directly with the young people in the program called Oak Futures. Walk us through what this summer youth employment program is and what does it really look like on a day-to-day basis?
Well, absolutely. It's multifaceted and very layered, but we start with our application process and we're serving 14 to 24-year-olds. So the application drops in the spring and we wait until May. We're usually, I would say, averaged about 150 applications
Wow.
during that time frame. And we're also looking for host employers. So reaching out to community partners and people that are interested in hosting an intern for the summer. And so we lead up until the interview process. We invite our employers to come and be a part of that interview phase. And then we try to pick the best students and match them to their interests. So from there, we lead into our 9-week program, the first week being orientation. So orientation looks like anything from financial literacy, soft skill development. We might do some civic engagement in the process, just really trying to prepare the youth to go on site for their job. We even do CPR training. So after the first week of orientation, we lead them into the 8 weeks of work. So I guess I would talk a little bit about our job placements now. So the kids find out about their placements at orientation week. And I would say we have a tiered kind of process for our employers. Being that Oak Ridge is a community, we have a lot of programming in-house that we do. So the first stop is our Summer Blast Camp, which is an 8-week program for our K through 8th grade youth. And it's an academic program with enrichment and fun activities in the afternoon. So we usually start out our 14, 15-year-olds on site close to home to give them, that familiarity and safe space to learn while they're working before we put them out in the community working. So some of our outside community partners look like local businesses, like Lifestyle Juices, Halal Grocers, so Nico, Sala, people in our community that look like our youth, that can help create pathways for success for our youth. We also do Good Vibes Movement, which is also just a great experience. Our youth get to have a somatic yoga experience in the morning, maybe make juice, garden, but then do construction. And it's really like a holistic experience. And then we go a little bit deeper and go to our larger institutions, like anything from the Science Center to the Art Center, to Drake Institute, to really give a different tier of experience for some of our older youth. And building community is all a part of the process, and building an ecosystem where the kids can see themselves, and meet new people and build new relationships and networks. So our employers play a pivotal role in that development.
Sounds like fun. Maybe I can come job shadow for a day.
Oh, yeah.
So there are a lot of barriers that this program helps overcome. What are some of these barriers that youth face, and how are you helping address them?
Well, I think one of our number one barriers is transportation, showing up, being able to get to work. So I think having the summer camp as one of our placements helps with that. But also partnering with people like United Way. Last year, we were part of the pilot program where kids were riding Lyft to get to work. So transportation is a barrier. Family responsibilities, especially with the demographic of youth that we're serving. Sometimes they have responsibilities of taking care of their younger siblings while their parents are working. So that's another barrier I would say that's significant for us. And then just like feeling like they're ready to go out into the work and feel like they have the belonging and the prepared readiness to show up. So that's where our orientation comes into play. And then we also do a series of engagements throughout the summer, little mini workshops and Fundamental Fridays, where kids can gain more skills to feel comfortable showing up in those spaces.
So what changes do you see in these students from when they start the summer to when the summer's over?
Wow, that's a good question. You see so much development. Their confidence, their communication, just knowing how to show up and be a self-starter. They're getting opportunities to gain independence for the first time, earn money, make decisions, contribute to their household, but also make mistakes and learn in the process. And so I think that part is the biggest change and growth that I see, is when they make those mistakes, but then they come back and show up ready to take what they learned and try again.
Okay, Zami, I'm excited to bring you into this conversation. Tell us how you first got involved in the Youth Summer Employment Program at Oak Ridge.
Well, I grew up in Oak Ridge and I lived there for about 8 years. And growing up, I feel like it's the dream to be able to work for the Summer Youth Employment Program. You dream of being able to be a staff member. So going through the entire program, I started in second grade and went up all the way up until my freshman year of high school. I got to apply. I was excited and went through the entire process and got my first job as a camp counselor.
Awesome. And you're pretty excited about that?
Yes, was. I was like, it's a long process, because you, just because you grew up there and just because you were a camper doesn't mean you get the job automatically. So you do have to go through orientation, have to go through the application process, have to go through interviews. And as a 14-year-old, this is my first time doing any of this. So being able to have the experience to do with people who I'm quite familiar with, people that I see on the day-to-day basis, people that I know want to see me succeed, helped through the process. But yeah, it was a little scary at first, but I feel like I did great. Got the job.
Awesome. Tell us what the experience was like for you once you got started.
At first, it can be a little challenging because working in camp, we're all kind of around the same age. So trying to make sure that I step into a new role, not as a camper, not as everyone's friend, but as like a camp counselor who kind of has somewhat of an authority over them to make sure that everything is running smoothly and everyone's safe. Being able to separate the two was challenging, but those are just things that I guess comes with life, and having supportive staff there, older staff members to help with all that was helped a lot, I should say.
Well, and they had been in your shoes, right?
Yeah.
And now you're doing that for others.
Mhm.
I love that. Was there a moment when you realized that this is really helping you think differently about your future?
I would say I had a lot of moments like that with orientation, especially. We learn a lot of different skills, a lot of life skills, a lot of professional skills, a lot of financial literacy skills like budgeting and saving, and learning about the different types of like bank accounts and accounting things. That opened my eyes a lot more to seeing that there's a lot more to life than just making money and spending it on like clothes and shoes and random things. So being able to learn those skills and now has helped me apply them now as I'm getting older and being a little bit more financial independent and on my own. These are skills that you're not taught in school. So being able to have the experience to learn those skills has, I feel like, aided in my success.
Yeah. Working in banking, we talk a lot about financial literacy, and it's
Yeah.
not just with middle school students, high school students, it's with college students, it's with immigrants, refugees, nonprofit.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's an important topic for our whole community.
definitely.
Never
And you-
stops.
Sounds like you learned a lot.
I did a ton.
A lot of our employees step up and help teach those classes throughout our community as well too. So shout out there to our Bankers Trust team members who do volunteering on teaching financial literacy. So it sounds like this program was a really great fit for you. What would you say to a student who might be considering signing up or applying?
I say go for it. I feel like a lot of things that we're taught or like things that are poured into us, what's the saying? You get out of life what you put into it. So just trying, all you have to do is try, and you can fail, but as long as you try again, there's bound to be success that comes out of it. So just fill out the application. It doesn't take anything from you. If you get a call back, attend the interview. And then if they hire you, go to work and just try and experience. And yeah.
And maybe someday you'll be graduating from Drake University.
Maybe. Or like any of the state schools.
Yeah.
Our rivals. Just kidding.
Cheryl, these programs we know don't just happen in isolation. What role do employers and the broader community play in making this summer youth employment program successful?
Employers, we need their support and the opportunity and willingness to invite youth into their spaces and to really invest in them. From our community, we need volunteers, maybe to become a trusted adult, a mentor, and also volunteer where possible. There's really a lot of roles for all of us to play, and collaboration is key, and it's going to take all of us to make it happen.
Jordan, you've worked with a lot of different employer partners. What makes an employer a great partner with your program and to support your students, and how do these partnerships benefit not just the students, but the employers as well?
So it's like Cheryl just said, it's a very collaborative experience. It takes an employer that wants to be committed, that has a clear vision for the youth, a defined role, but also knowing that they need to maybe have a plan A, B, and C because everybody learns differently. And so you really have to be patient with the youth, listen, take their feedback. But also, you know that there's going to be some challenges maybe for those youth that are different than other youth that you may have worked with. So just being open to those experiences and being able to learn from each other in the process. So I think not only do the youth benefit from this experience, but the employers benefit in that we're funding the youth to be in these positions 9 times out of 10. Sometimes we
Okay.
do have a match with our employer, but it's an opportunity for them to get some free labor, but also work with a different background, a different experience that might not have that perspective. So it brings innovation, I think, and new experiences and ideas to the
Yeah.
plate. So once again, building community in the process, I would say.
And being such a competitive program to get into, there's clearly more people that want to participate than spots. As we think to the future, what does it take to expand these opportunities so that more young people can participate? And Cheryl or Jordan, whichever one of you or both want to answer.
Well, I'll just say first, funding is
Absolutely.
the biggest,
Absolutely.
the biggest
Okay.
thing.
Right. Right.
I'll let you lead and I'll follow after, I guess.
And I really like what you just said, Jordan, is that it has to be meaningful experiences. So with the youth, not only are they learning, but we are as well, because their voice is so important. So number one, expand opportunities. And we need the employers to be a part of that. Funding to help make these happen because the need is so great. And also, right, to collaborate. Cross-sector collaboration is key to this. And to also bring in youth however possible, right? Because we're
Absolutely.
building our future workforce.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Good.
Funding is a challenge currently,
Mm-hmm.
and so we really have to be innovative in how we do the work. And so I think working with community partners is integral to the work that we're doing beyond some of the larger institutions that we might be working with to provide that extra support that's needed. So there's a few ways to do the work, and we're trying it from every angle.
So, Zami, you have benefited from this program. How has the experiences you've had shaped maybe your goals moving forward and what your future looks like?
I would say this program had provided me with so much opportunity to see beyond the acres of Oak Ridge. Um, for me, currently, like the higher education has always been a part of the goal, and being able to attend college almost next to nothing and just continuing to grow and graduate here in a couple weeks and then continue on. But yeah, I just want to expand my knowledge in the near coming future and just see more things. And I'm open to a lot more opportunities to grow as a person and help out the community that helped raise me. So yeah.
Wonderful. Do you have a specific career goal in mind? What do you want to be doing in 5 years?
Wow. That's
That's
a
a long
deep
time. I
question.
know.
I know
I
it
know.
seems
Okay, 2
so
years.
far, but so close. Well, in 2 years, I do want to complete my bachelor's in public relations and hopefully get a great job in telling stories that people don't typically tell, or telling stories from a point of view that is different from what's currently being written and told.
Okay. Well, hopefully there's some great employers out there listening to this podcast that are going to
Oh.
pick up this
Wouldn't
talent.
it be grand?
If
You
I
know where
don't
to
grab
find
you
me.
first to intern maybe in our Bankers Trust marketing team.
Ooh.
Little plug
Ooh.
there. We get a lot of Drake students. So
Mm.
I love it.
So we'll have to stay in touch. Before we close, I just want to make sure our listeners understand how they can be a part of this work as well. So because it's a community issue, Cheryl, for someone listening who might want to get involved, help expand opportunities for young people, besides funding, where can they begin?
Great question. Great question. I'm going to highlight 2 opportunities at United Way of Central Iowa to serve as a resource. Earlier, as summer interns, Azari Shakshak and Joshua Harris created a Youth Employment Toolkits series for youth, nonprofits, and businesses interested in opening the door, creating or expanding the opportunities for youth. Those toolkits are available on our website. And remember, they're available for youth interested, also for nonprofits and for businesses. So that's one resource. The second one is we need community. We need volunteers. And United Way has an incredible volunteer hub. Get involved. Take a look. Help out wherever you can, because our youth employment programs really, really need volunteers, and our businesses as well. The expertise is out there. So the need is great. And I'm going to say, right, ladies, the time is now. We need everybody.
Jordan, what about employers? If a business is thinking maybe we'd like to get involved but aren't sure how, what would you tell them?
I would say to lean in. There's plenty of opportunity to get involved. Um, Even employers that are interested in maybe funding some of our youth to work, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a great way to get involved because we went from having 70 placements in the summer to this past summer having 38 placements for our youth. So you can see that big
Mm.
gap lost in funding. So that's one way. And then also, I think during the process of the internship, I think our host employers can, share that information out that the kids are doing in their newsletters and then on their social feeds and show the impact that it's bringing to community and breaking some of those barriers.
And Zami, for students who might be listening, what additional advice do you have for them, or what would you encourage them to do?
Tap in and pour into yourself, and also look for mentors for people to pour into you. There are so many mentors like Jordan and like Cheryl, and there's a lot of community leaders who want to give back to the youth and who want to see us succeed. So just look for them and pour into yourself and pour into finding them.
Pour into yourself, believe in yourself.
Mhm.
Always bet on yourself.
Yes.
We like to end each episode with a simple but important question. In the midst of all of the challenges we've talked about, what gives you hope when you think about the future of our community here in Central Iowa?
I'm going to start out as a very hopeful person. There's hope is alive in our community youth employment programs, such as Oak Futures right here,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's there, it's going on. And again, they are willing, and all of the businesses are willing to open their doors to create meaningful experiences for youth. I also find hope, so many of us do, in listening to the voices of our youth when they're participating, when they're engaged, and even employed. That's where it's at, right? The youth voice brings us hope. And again, hope in building on our successes is really what brings us hope as well.
How about you?
I would say for me, I'm finding hope in our youth. I'm
Mm-hmm.
daily in and out working with youth on all age levels, and really they're teaching me so much in the process of these experiences. And so it's super transformative to be able to know that you can pour into them, but they're really pouring into you at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. And it's so important for all of us to get involved in community and create more containers and opportunities for them to tell their stories and learn in the process. And so it's truly an honor to be able to do this work and give back in that way.
You can tell you love what you do, so it doesn't feel like work,
Oh,
right?
exactly.
I would say what gives me hope is seeing the growth in all my friends and seeing how far we've all come and seeing how much this has impacted us and how much of an impact Oak Ridge has had on all of us. I would also say what gives me hope are the mentorship that we get from all of the staff at Oak Ridge, and yeah, just
Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Miss Jordan, of course.
Oh,
Miss Jordan, okay.
Yeah, I feel like everyone at Oak Ridge, Miss Colleen, Mr. Bailey, they all take pride in what they do, and it doesn't take one person, it takes an entire organization to
Mm-hmm.
make
Yep.
what we do successful. And being a beneficiary of all the programming and now like working in the accounting department and seeing all that goes into it behind the scenes, I'm like, guys, this is so much work. But yeah, it's been an amazing and eye-opening experience working in accounting for the past 2 years.
And Emily, if I can add something, I really see hope right here.
oh.
And we have been the recipients of Oak Future interns. And every one of them has come prepared and is really committed to our work at United Way and represents Oak so well. And they also bring a lot to our organization. So on their behalf, we thank you. You bring me hope.
Well, thank you. We think United Way. We think Baker's Trust. This is a great experience to be able
It
to come
is.
on here and tell our story for Oak Futures. And I'm just so proud of Zami.
There she
I
is.
met her
Yes.
like in 6th grade, and just to see how far she's come in this experience and through these programs, it truly speaks to uh, the power of this program.
What do you see in Zami that you didn't see when she was a 6th grader?
I'll never forget. I'll never forget.
Oh, I'm scared.
We needed to write a success story for, I think, our 21st century grant reporting something. And I was like, Zami, you're going to write your own success story. And she was like, what? What does that mean? And I guided her. I gave her a template. She did it. She came back with, I don't know, maybe 8 sentences. And I was like, okay, this is good, but I think you can do a little bit better. And I remember she looked at me like, what? But she came back and she delivered. And I think it kind of built something in her. And after that, when she went into high school, she really focused on her writing, and she became a really amazing writer, which I think is kind of leading to her interest in journalism. But I've just been able to see her blossom over the years and grow, and she's like blown me out of the water, and just in spaces that she showed me up, and I was like, what, girl? So I'm just super proud of her, and she's like family. Her family is my family, and I just love.
Want to send some love back Jordan's way?
Of course. Miss Jordan has been someone who I can call when there are questions floating that I have no one to go to. I feel like sometimes I come from a single parent household, so it was really just me, my mom, my brother growing up. And my mom is an immigrant from West Africa, so a lot of navigating America and like navigating FAFSA, for example, and like how to apply to college and how to get recommendation letters and just navigating that whole system, I couldn't go to her for because she's never experienced it. So being able to go to Miss Jordan and other Oak Ridge staff and just having them help me navigate things like that has just been an incredible and very, what's the word? Just a blessing, I would say. Just a blessing altogether. So yeah,
Sounds like everyone needs a Miss Jordan in their life.
definitely.
Oh.
Remember, one caring adult can change the life trajectory for a child.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll end with that.
Agreed.
Well, it's really clear from this conversation that summer youth employment isn't just about filling time during the summer. It's about opening doors. We've heard today about so many doors that have been opened. It's about helping young people build skills, build confidence, build connections that can really shape the rest of their lives. I'm so excited to hear what comes next for you. It's a powerful reminder that when nonprofits, employers, and young people come together, we can create pathways that didn't exist before. So thank you to all 3 of our guests for sharing your perspectives, for sharing your work, for sharing your story. And thanks to our listeners for joining us. To learn more about Oak Futures and the youth employment initiatives, visit oakridgeneighborhood.org. To learn more about safe and thriving youth and to see all this volunteer hubs we were talking about and the toolkits that we mentioned, that's unitedwaydm.org/youth. I'm Emily Abbas from Bankers Trust. Until next time, remember, when we come together, we're not just helping individuals, we're building a stronger, more thriving community for everyone. Let's all step up. This program needs more funding. They need more employers. Employers, raise your hands. I'm proud that Bankers Trust has been a sponsor of this summer youth employment program for decades. So it's time to all lean in, to use your words. We're going to lean in. We're going to lean in together. We're going to lean in as a community. And happy graduation.
Yay.
Thank you.
Congratulations.